Mastering your time, trying new things, and asking for help are keys to unlocking a life worth celebrating. Stick around as we unpack this more. Hello and welcome to the Something New Show. I'm your special guest host, Jordan Linscomb. Today we're going to dive right into 3 key things that help you with a life worth celebrating. That's what this show is about. We're going to talk about managing your time really well by planning ahead, trying new things, and also asking for help. As we jump in today, I want to let you know that as this episode releases, we're just crossing the 100,000 views mark on this channel of the Something New Show. And so thank you to everyone who's been watching, sharing with friends, and passing along. We so appreciate you following and sharing this with other people who would find this content really valuable and meaningful as they create a life worth celebrating. So as we jump in today, this comes out of some reflections as we wrap up summer. It's August at this time of recording. And I've just really been reflecting on how these 3 main ideas really have helped us create a life worth celebrating. And we want the same for you. And so this first concept of really planning ahead, yes, it deals with time management. It deals with looking at your calendar. It deals with really doing things even though you don't want to sometimes. Okay, but when it talks about mastering your time, it's been on my mind because our kids just started school last week. And we have finally gotten to the point, people, where my wife, Mindy, went digital with her calendar. This is a big moment in the Linscomb family, trust me. She's been doing paper for years. She might still do that on the side. But we finally got to a point where we're syncing our calendars digitally, and it's like a whole new world. And with that, the beautiful thing is we have mapped out what we believe is going to be our schedule and our plans for the rest of this calendar year. And then also, of course, things into the next year. Since we run 4 businesses and a foundation, we got plenty going on, and more importantly, 4 kids. So mastering your time, planning your calendar really does help. Here's the big idea. If you want to create a life worth celebrating, you have to plan in advance so that you can tackle the things like work, key tasks, and other things that you have to do or ways that you're helping others so you can create space for other things of celebration. All right, so a couple of ideas. This will help you with your personal growth. This will help you with your professional growth. But you really have to prioritize what matters most, okay? And so we've got things categorized for family, for work, for each kid. And I don't know about you, but we are 4 days into school, and I think I've seen about, seriously, like 1,000 messages if you combine the 4 kids in 4 different grades, plus an oldest son who's in high school football. Between all the notifications and emails and this, that, and another, it starts to easily get overwhelming unless you've created a system of how you review those things and then add them to your calendar to help really stay in control of what you're saying yes to as a family or being on top of those key appointments and key things that you have to be present for as a parent. So one element is, this is just something on my mind this week. I continue to be amazed when I wake up most every day. My wife thinks so far in advance, literally like 90 days in advance or more on a recurring basis. And so here we are in August, and I promise you people, she already has all of the gifts purchased for Christmas for extended family and teachers, and they are being wrapped this week as we speak. I don't think like that personally. I'm a planner, I think ahead, but she is remarkable. I love that aspect about her so much. It really challenges me to continue to think ahead. But as we're doing that, here's the beauty in planning ahead like that and getting things ahead on the calendar. When it comes time for the holidays, when it's those last couple of weeks of school, or you were doing staff, meetings or other things with church or school, you name it, we don't have to be thinking about what are we going to purchase, how are we going to get it wrapped, how are we going to do those things on time. So I love that we're already buying ourselves time by planning in advance and doing these things 4 months before they will be done by many, many people, okay? So that's just one practical thing is like, what are things you can be doing now to create space so that you can be more present and actually celebrate more during the holiday season or during special moments with your friends, family, people that are important to you, okay? So I want to encourage you, plan well in advance, get on it in whatever aspects of life you need to do there. Another second big idea here is to try new things in life. We're in a fun season where we just consolidated all of our kids to the same school campus. This came after a lot of consideration, deliberation, and praying. We asked the kids to speak into the decision, but it was kind of a big moment for our family. And it was twofold. One, last week, for the first time ever, we dropped off all 4 of our children for a full day of school. A full day of school. It has never happened in 14 and a half years of parenting. But for the first time, they're all there for about 8 hours. Things are starting well. It's not flawless, but it's coming along. But we also consolidated them all to the same campus where our oldest kid is, okay? There's a couple of new things that have emerged in doing that. One, there's a running club that's been around for a while, but all of a sudden, our kids are interested in joining a running club. And then secondly, our kids are interested in tennis. And so we tried out tennis lessons for the kids this last week. Now, we've typically been doing flag football. We've been doing baseball. Our oldest does tackle football. There's a couple of like key things we've learned. One of our kids does drama and is really excelling at that, okay? But it's really been fun as we've talked as a family in the last week. We're like, wow, we just all of a sudden have a lot of new opportunities that we can try out. And we really think about, as parents, like dreaming big, but then testing small. Okay. A quick reflection on that is we tried out travel baseball this last 12 months for the first time ever. Like you've heard in maybe other episodes, we were really big on the decision making, that it be in unity with me and my wife and our son. And I got to tell you, partway through that season, we learned we don't like travel baseball. I wanted it to go well. My son did fine. Okay. But as we got through that, all 3 of us that were in the decisions really started to realize, like, this is too much time and energy away from our family on the weekends. Okay. So that's a little aside there. So as we're stepping into new and different sports, new and different activities, what I'm seeing as we're trying new things is an excitement in our kids' eyes, an excitement to like learn something different. Okay. And so what I learned from the baseball thing as well too, is it was a pretty big commitment, but we were trying some other things that have shorter commitments for this fall. I really don't like getting overcommitted. Now, we have a lot going on in life. And if some people look at our family, they'd be like, holy moly, how do they do it? Well, part of it is the time planning I just talked about. But secondly is I like to really dream and say like, hey, would this be fun for our kid? But how can we try it out in small experimental timeframes that are maybe 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, okay? So excited about some new things. But again, trying new things is what keeps life interesting. It's what keeps it fresh. It's what helps you not be stagnant as a person, okay? So a couple of other things that are going on. We just came back from a family trip to Germany and Austria. Incredible, like, bucket list trip for us. Mindy's family is mostly German by heritage. I'm probably 50% or more. And we just really were bent on, like, how can we reconnect with heritage and also go with Mindy's mom and dad? And so our family of 6 plus her 2 parents, we coordinated it. Mindy and I, we were like high-fiving. We were so proud. We coordinated a really solid trip. We had 10 days on the ground. But with that, it was totally new. Driving in a new country, taking trains, taking subways, taking buses in a place we've never been. And I have to tell you guys, it was really fulfilling. Was it a restful trip with 4 kids and 2 in-laws? Like, no. But we believe in that concept of like rest at home and have fun and do really cool activities on vacation. And so as we come back from that trip, I keep reflecting on it. We got back about 10 days ago. It just was cool to like push ourselves and go to a different place. It felt fresh for the kids. I felt like we exposed them on how to travel, how to use a phone app and coordinate getting across Munich using 2 or 3 different forms of public transportation. So trying something new, it was invigorating for our family. Whatever that may look like for you, your family, or your friends, I just want to encourage you to keep trying new things. A couple other things we're doing. I love hunting. It's one of my favorite things I've done since I was 5 years old. We always use the meat. We always make sure we are ethical and honoring of how we take home a harvest, okay? But I've been rifle hunting for a long time, and I really had it in my heart, like, I want to get into archery using a bow and arrow. And so I've been practicing that over the summer, over these last couple of months. The season's coming up soon. And I can't tell you how fun and also kind of challenging it is for me to take something I love, but say, how do we approach that in a very different and even more challenging, kind of extreme way for archery hunting? So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on how that goes this fall. But it's been really invigorating and fun to figure out something different and new to do. Also, I started a new workout plan for me personally. I've got 2 big health goals of things that I want to improve. Bluntly, one of them is getting my cholesterol down. And I hate to say it, I wish it were the case, but like I'm working on improving that as well as building muscle. And so I asked a friend. He gave me an amazing plan, and I'm trying some new supplements and different things that I haven't done before. And literally just having the template, having the checklist to do, I did it this morning. It's so invigorating, and it's so much more fulfilling than like just going and not pushing myself as hard as I know I could if I weren't following a clear plan. So I just want to give you an encouragement, like try something new and try something different this month. This is a Something New show. What new thing can you incorporate into your life or to your family that will help you bring some challenge in a healthy way, bring something fresh to what you're doing in life during this season?
This episode is sponsored by Something Blue 30A. Looking for the perfect vacation spot to disconnect from everything, put your feet in the softest sand, and enjoy a fresh, renovated 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse right on the beach in my favorite place in the world? Well, 30A is situated in the Panhandle of Florida, and I'd love for you to check out Something Blue 30A on Instagram and make it the perfect place for your next vacation.
And then our third and final topic is really asking for help. Asking for help, it really isn't a sign of weakness, my friends. It's a smart strategy for growth. And life is not like a solo venture. We all know this. We have to live in community. We don't know it all, okay? There's something when I reflect back on my younger years, like junior high, high school, is I wish I had a good knack for things. I was a sharp valedictorian, good at several different things, the arts, music, academics, sports, okay? But if I look back, I wish I would have learned to ask for help in clearer and better ways earlier on and even more frequent volumes. So there's something powerful about having a heart, having a mindset going into life, whatever season you're in. And you can start now going forward to say, I'm always going to be a learner. I'm always going to keep adding something new and different, but ask for help along the way. All right. So a couple of things that I want to encourage you in is avoid the concept of gnosis. Gnosis, what do I mean by that? Gnosis. It's the word for being basically a know-it-all. I look back and I saw this in myself bluntly in some ways. And then on occasion, I'm seeing it in my kids every once in a while now, where like we've got a 9-year-old who keeps us smiling, keeps us laughing. And every once in a while something comes like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. And there's some things where he's totally right. And we're like, wow. And then there's some other things where we're like, buddy, you don't really know how to do that. Let us help you, or let us find another adult or someone further along the way that can help you with that. Okay. So that concept of gnosis is crippling and stifling. If you're a go-getter or high achiever, great. You got there by, pulling up your bootstraps and doing a lot of great things. But how can you incorporate even better questions, better asking for help? If you're getting stuck and hitting some roadblocks or wasting time with something in your business or in your family, how could you ask for better help to make things go smoother and save yourself some time, some energy, and maybe some emotional energy, okay? But with that, when it came to some of these examples I just shared, I wanted to get into archery this summer, but I actually had to stop and ask my friend Jared. I've been hunting a long time, even longer than him, but I haven't been hunting with a bow. And so it was really humbling, but like also fun to say, hey, where do I start? What do I do? He took me out, showed me some of the basics, okay? And from there, we've been texting and chatting all this summer of like, how can I learn and keep getting better in time for the season? With the workout plan I was mentioning, I know what to do at the gym, but I never took the time to map out a plan that was really like invigorating and exciting. So I asked my friend Justin Rothling-Schofer, check out the episode we did with Justin earlier on here. The Something New show is phenomenal. So he's so inspiring to me and Mindy and our health, okay? But Justin came back with me, he has a company called Own It, and gave me a really simple Google sheet I can access on my phone. Here's my workouts. Also some suggestions on supplements, because I have a pretty good knack for like what to do, what not. But he's like, here's exactly what you need to do, when you need to take these things, and you will see the results if you stick with it. So I look forward to doing more of that this fall. But the thing is, like, nobody really achieves success alone, right? So wherever you're at in life, I just want to encourage you, keep asking for help, having that learning mindset. Even my wife, she planned ahead. She ordered all the Christmas gifts that I was talking to you about. We were at a place in life where we have a couple of helpers and teammates that can help us with things along the way. It was not always like that, friends. Okay. In our early days of doing something new, we were doing everything on our own and then added a few teammates as we could. But we're super grateful. At this point, we have a teammate who could help us wrap the presents. Now, my wife bought them. She was up early doing her thing. I was like, holy moly, 51 items on Amazon. Okay, here we go. But they've arrived. A teammate's helping out. My wife asked for help, and she's got plenty going on. We're trying to best steward her time this week, okay? But that's a beautiful thing. She asked for help, and we're much further along planning for the holiday season than we would be without asking for the help. So 3 ideas here. I want to tie it all together as we wrap up, okay? Planning ahead, mastering your time and your schedule, learning new things, trying new things, and asking for help along the way. All of these are vital aspects about creating a life worth celebrating. And I promise you, it'll keep it fresh, it'll keep it new, it'll keep it challenging for you as you grow personally, as you grow professionally. And I just want to challenge you as we wrap up today is, what is one aspect of your life that this month you could, focus on and say, I really want to improve and try out this new thing? Or maybe I want to improve how I manage my calendar and my time so I can be more present. I can better celebrate with friends, family, or the people closest to me. And as well as asking for help. Like, what's an area where you want to try something different or do something better, but you just haven't stopped to find an expert or someone further along the line? So find one thing for this month, and I promise you will be proud of yourself, and you'll be glad you did it when you lean in and you look back 60, 90 days from now. Okay, the person you're going to be in 60 or 90 days, the decisions you make in the next 2-3 weeks really shapes that. So I want to encourage you, find even one thing and take some practical steps to improve that as you create a life worth celebrating. Hey friends, again, I'm Jordan Linscomb. If this was an episode that really spoke to you, or if you know a friend who would love it, we ask that you would like, subscribe, share this content with others. Thank you so much for joining us on the Something New Show, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the show, rate, review, and share with a friend. Also, follow The Something New Show on Instagram and Facebook. If you want a fuller experience, watch the show on YouTube to help you create a life worth celebrating.